Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and Happy New Year! I thought I would bring you guys a layout today using the Simple Stories Happy New Year collection. I was searching for inspiration online and I came across this page kit from Scrapbook, and I loved the banners and everything that was in it, so I thought, why don't I use that as my inspiration piece? I went to look it up again once I was working on the layout, and Scrapbook has taken the kit down. I'm not sure why, so I can't link you to the inspiration piece. I am in love with this Simple Stories Happy New Year collection. I've made 2 layouts already with it, a single page as well as a double page, and this is actually in my cart at scrapbook.com. I love the pink and teal and orange, and it's just fun colors for New Year's celebration. So I definitely need another set of it because it's one of their like smaller collections, like the mini collections. So there's not a lot of pieces in it. I think there's only like 6 pieces. And I've added my own paper to it as well to include that black polka dot. The paper that has all the numbers on it, on the back of it, it is white with black polka dots, and I have used that number paper several times. I love that number paper, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to use that polka dot, and I have a bunch of that black with the white polka dot. I picked that up at Tuesday Morning when they had like the 25 pack. I think on the back of it's like polar bears or panda bears or something like that. But now that I have all the strips down, you can see how awesome these colors look together, and I just love it. So I'm documenting some photos of last year's New Year's Eve celebration that we had at the house. My friend Christina came over and we had a bonfire, or really a fire pit, in the backyard, and we just had an amazing night of watching the ball drop and just hanging out with the kids and doing some fun things with them. So I'm going to be laying down the strips, and I really didn't measure the strips. I just kind of eyeballed it. I knew I wanted really big pieces of the numbers, and then my thought process was I would have like a larger piece on one side and a smaller piece on the other side, so you can see like that pink is a little bit thicker on the left, and then you can see the pink on the right is a little bit thinner. And that was really my thought process using the inspiration. They were doing something very similar to it as well. Of course, I had to pull out my T-square ruler, and I didn't always get the pieces straight, so luckily I had my spatula to be able to pull some of those pieces up as well. So for the right-hand side of the layout, we did take some photos just in front of my sliding glass door. I use this a lot when we have events at my house. I'll close the curtains on the sliding glass door. Usually we'll decorate the sliding glass door curtains, and this year it was just a simple Happy New Year. I didn't realize that the Happy New Year being in black against the navy curtains probably wasn't the best idea because you couldn't see it. So I had to keep that in mind when I'm looking for decorations for this year to not get such a dark color. So I have photos of me and Eli, Christina and one of her kids. The other 2 kids were with their dad, and then Christina's date as well. And then on the left-hand side of the layout, I used that 4x4 card that has all the numbers and then it has Happy New Year on it. I took a picture of the fire pit, and then there's a photo of myself and Christina, and then Christina's date next to the fire. And I love those 2 pictures because the fire is giving off like a different ambiance, and these photos look really awesome, and I just love it. So that's what's going to be on the left-hand side of the layout. The inspiration did not have any stitching or anything, but you guys know that that's something that I'm absolutely going to include in all of my layouts recently because I am in love with some stitching. So I did pull out some tone-on-tone colors. I was trying to decide between the black and the white for the polka dot, but I did end up going with the black. And then for the number paper, I pulled out this really pale peach color that looks like the color that's in the paper as well. And then I pulled out my stitching tools. I do have a Amazon link below if you wanted to pick up any of these stitching tools, to include that magnetic tin that's over on the left, my threaders that look like those little flowers, as well as the needles that I use, and the embroidery floss. I did slow down the video here so that you can see the stitching. I just did a simple back stitch. I made several mistakes. Luckily, I'm going to be covering up those mistakes with the photos. I didn't think to figure out which area needed the stitching and which didn't. I just did the full line of stitching since there wasn't a lot of it. And then I added the photos back down to the layout. I put all of the photos flat to the layout. I thought about popping them up, but I was just like, it is what it is. I'm just going to lay it down. We're going to be doing something similar tonight for New Year's Eve as well. Christina's coming over. This year she's going to have all of the kids, and obviously Eli will be here as well. I'm not sure what our other plans are since I am recording this a little bit earlier, but I just know we are going to have a fire pit again, and we'll watch the ball drop and just have some fun at home time. I found this local guy who just chops wood. That's like basically what he does. And he sells it on Facebook Marketplace. And it's a wheelbarrow full of wood for like $20. So like the entire back of my SUV is full of wood to use. So it's super exciting, and I love being able to have that fire pit in the backyard, and it's just awesome. Like, we don't get a lot of cold days here in Florida, and so having the fire pit is not something we can do very often unless we want to be roasting. Definitely taking advantage of that during this time, because that's really the only time we can use them. So I did use the word celebrate just like the inspiration piece, and I did put that up on Fun Foam. I also cut out some of the 2x2 cards. I'm actually only going to end up using one of the 2x2 cards, and that is the New Year's Eve. And I'm going to add it over on the right-hand side of the layout. I first thought I would add it to the left-hand side, but then I remembered that I have a video that I want to add to this, and I knew that I needed to do a QR code for that, so I wanted to make sure that that was on the left-hand side of the layout. Christina and I did a tradition of eating 12 grapes at midnight. You're supposed to eat the 12 grapes right as the ball drops, and you're supposed to do it within 1 minute. Prior to eating the grapes, you're supposed to have 12 intentions for the year, so one for every month. You're also supposed to eat the grapes under the table. So Christina and I were actually talking about this just a couple of days ago in regards to our list that we made last year and how much of those intentions have really come true. And I would say a majority of mine have come true or have manifested themselves in some ways. We absolutely agree that we did not do a very good job of being specific. We were too broad. Some of the things were like, we probably could have been a little more specific on those. So we're going to do that tradition again of eating the grapes under the table. And that's the video that I wanted to have. So there is going to be a QR code over on the left-hand side. So I did pull out the sticker sheet. You can see here I've used a ton of the stickers on this sheet. Again, this collection is an amazing collection for New Year's Eve. It just has so many fun things to it. So I added some balloons to the left-hand side of the layout. I did put that up on Fun Foam. Over on the right-hand side, I added the little champagne glasses right to the 2x2 square, and I love the way that that came out. I did also put that up on Fun Foam. I added some noisemakers and some stars, as well as the word cheer. And then I pulled out my color boxes in blue, orange, and pink and added some enamel dots. I did decide to do my journaling. I usually do a batch journaling, so I also have some other pieces over there. This layout came together super quick, and the video was really short, so I was like, why don't I just go ahead and put the journaling in as well as that QR code. So my journaling says, Christina, Kevin, Eli, Adiola, and I enjoyed a wonderful time gathering around a bonfire, followed by watching the ball drop to celebrate New Year's Eve. Christina and I even indulged in the tradition of eating 12 grapes under the table at midnight. This custom is believed to bring good luck, prosperity, and a success in the new year. So I did use my journaling strip die and the spreadsheet that Nicole created. I will link her video here that explains all about the spreadsheet. I love this spreadsheet. It has gotten off a little bit. It's a little wonky, so I need to like re-download her original one because I think for some reason it's not what it's supposed to be. So it is a little bit off. And I use the Google Sheet. She also has a Google Doc, but I do prefer Google Sheets. Just make sure that you are spell checking because it does not automatically spell check for you. This time I did decide to put them up on some foam adhesive from scrapbook.com. I just have the 1/4 inch strips, and this one is the 2mm. I have the 1mm as well. I know Nicole loves the 1mm, and I've used it a couple of times, but they're not my favorite. They're all right. And then I also did add the 23 over to the 2x2 square to indicate that it was 2023. All right, that is it for this video. Here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I hope you guys enjoy your New Year's Eve and make sure that you are being safe in whatever activity you guys decide to do tonight. All right, if you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.